Hey guys, welcome to my closet. It's not anymore my studio. Vanessa took over with her stuff because I'm allowed again to head back to my Rio studio and work there. But today I won't, because today the entire day is just business stuff. I've scheduled all of my meetings due to the virus, of course not outside in person, all of them via Zoom or Skype. It's what we have to do to social distance. Tomorrow I'll be back in the studio. Today just Skyping, writing emails, and also taking care of some government stuff because they're helping musicians, DJs, producers in need. I'm not heavily in need, but due to me not being able to rent out the studio to other people and some other business kind of stuff, and the people that I employ can't come to work, we're suffering a little. So I'll check with them if there's anything possible to do. Basically, I'm just getting back my tax money, so it's not such a bad thing. But for today, we'll just stick to a simple and easy track submit edition where you guys send me songs, I listen to them, give you feedback, and yeah, let's get started. So yeah, welcome to Track Submit Special Edition at home quarantine time. Let's start right away with the very first track. It's by Moon World and called Happy. Yeah, the vibe definitely fits to the title. I don't know why the cover says happier and the song on SoundCloud itself just says happy, but anyways. It's not too bad. It's not a full finished song in my opinion. It's nothing I would release, and I also don't think it's close enough to be sent out to labels as a demo. And the main thing I would change about it is definitely that lead melody. I mean, yes, it's happy, it has that kind of vibe, and it's fully an artistic kind of choice, but it's not interesting enough. It doesn't get stuck in my head. It's a tiny bit annoying, and I think you could make something more towards an Avicii kind of direction and still make it happy, but also make it catchy at the same time. And the sound selection for that lead sound, it's too high. I think it's like 1 octave too high. At least try to mix something underneath that plays the same, that is playing a little lower. I mean, you can see it in the analyzer. There's a huge gap in the upper bass kind of part. Either you copy the MIDI of the main synthesizer or you add another bass, but that's like the most exciting part of a song. Those frequencies like above 100, between 100 and 300, the stuff that you also hear on small speakers, the stuff that is like the bass that you can actually hear, and it's missing. So yeah, definitely try to improve that. Next up, by Akshay Aval, a song called Run.mp3. Yeah, I mean, this could work for like, I don't know, a soundtrack for a movie in the background. I like the bass. I think the entire song is very dull. There is no top end at all. Again, this could be an artistic choice, but let me give you this one tip. If you have no high frequencies in there, the low frequencies won't appear that low. If you don't have like the contrast, if your ear doesn't listen to high frequencies and then low frequencies, it just all sounds low and your ear gets used to it and the low doesn't seem that low anymore. I hope this makes sense, but like have high frequencies in there. For this kind of track, some hats, some trap style hats, maybe some off hi-hats, old school, the 909, 808, and it should be a lot better. The arrangement is weird. It doesn't follow any structure, and yeah. So maybe just try to find a song that is similar style and copy the arrangement a little to get more excitement over time into a song. Music is the only art that you listen to for a duration of time. So you need to make it interesting over time. I want to be really honest, this one called Groups, it sounds very random. It sounds like someone dragged 5 loops into a project, put a kick underneath, had an arpeggiator run through and like a weird melody in between. I don't really even know where to start, but I would suggest to just start with a good kick drum, try to find a bass to it, and then start adding a snare or a clap, and then the melodies, the chords, of course, are even necessary for this type of music. But it's like, it's too confusing and weird. I can't really see any structure in it. So far, the best one by Alan Dazel called I Need You. The vocals I know. I don't know if it's an edit remix or if there's splice vocals. I don't actually know. But yeah, build-up is really good. It's like a classic build-up, and then we got a drop that works. Not too many elements in there. The elements that are in there, they fit. Sound design is alright. It could be a little more like twisted and interesting. It's a little too standard, but if you're just starting out as a producer, like getting to a point where it's considered standard is already extremely good. I think here it could be a release, it could be, but I'm like, the entire break section is too long, too boring, too little change. It just sounds like a stretched loop. So definitely rework the break part. The very end of it is good, like the build up to the drop is good, leave that. Drop itself is good, and yeah, it's really about like the fine things, like setting up the reverbs correctly, EQing a little more, like saturation, like compression, and also a little bit of distortion to get like 5% more out of this tune. But yeah, really good. So far the best. This one by Nika K called Helium. It sounds very old school trance-like. I'm still missing like the big main synthesizer or arpeggiator or pluggy synth, something that makes it really trance, or like snap sounds that really like jump at you. That's missing. It's just like the foundation of a track. So either you add vocals to it, which I think don't really fit in this kind of case, or you add this main synthesizer and also build a break around that main synthesizer. Because this song has like an intro, a drop, an outro, no real break in between that really makes you stop at the club or festival, enjoy the moment, and then be hyped for the build up and the drop again. It's like a classic thing to do with like club music. It just works. Don't try to reinvent it. It just works. Very deep, very dark techno. I like it. I could see this being played in one of these weird big raves. I'm not too convinced about the kick. I think the kick could be pitched down by 3-4 semitones to hit even harder. The bass is a little overwhelming and it's a very dull song. Also here I'm missing some heads, some offbeat heads that would be like the classic way to introduce some higher frequencies in there. Yeah, I'm a little confused. I don't get the arrangement. It sounds like 3 songs put together. In one part there is a melody, which is kind of alright. In one part there is an arpeggiator. So you really have to decide how to get structure into your song. Have like one main thing, vocals or a main synthesizer that is like carrying the entire song, the one element you remember after listening to it, and everything else is just to support it and to keep the song over time interesting. That's really the key when it comes to arranging. Contrasts, having quiet parts and parts that are dense and energetic, and like having this one main element be the focus of your song, the focus of the mix, everything else just to support it. Let's say you have a song with a trumpet, then make sure that that trumpet is like in focus of the mix, the main thing, and everything else, just whenever the trumpet gets boring, just add something to keep it interesting, and then maybe filter it, automation, and this kind of stuff. This makes music exciting, at least for me, because again, you listen to it from start to finish as a normal listener, and we producers make the mistake and usually just skip through a song or just listen to a loop if it's our own song, and this really distorts how we perceive a song. You should maybe just let it rest for 1 or 2 days and then listen to it from start to finish and just write down the things you think are wrong, could be improved, and this way you get like a perfect arrangement. I think like the obvious stuff to have like an intro, a first drop kind of part, a break part, drop again, break again, outro again. For club music, very standard. Just drag another song you love into your DAW and listen for what kind of elements they introduced or took away at certain parts, and just copy that, like not the entire song copy, just like the ideas and the elements that pop in and pop out. Same for pop music. There it's usually verse, chorus, or actually verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus, chorus. Very simple. You can look it up anywhere. Just follow these rules at the beginning. Breaking them is something for later. All of these songs that I listened to broke entirely arrangement rules or common arrangement practices. They just work. Don't try to reinvent it. It's like confusing and hard to listen to if you don't follow to a certain extent these rules. And breaking them comes later. Once you accomplish that, once you release songs, once you have like a fan base that expects something, then you can start twisting it around and breaking it at certain points, very sparingly used, because if you overdo it with the breaking of the rules, it's again too confusing. But sometimes it's like fresh to twist it up a little. But in general, just stick to normal arrangements. Thanks for watching, guys. Now, a marathon of Skype and Zoom. It's kind of weird. I hate this, like having to talk to someone and seeing them and they see me. It's always a little cringy. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you want to submit your song, get feedback yourself, down below in the description, the very first link. See you tomorrow again, back in the studio. Silence.